Welcome to your reset with Christiane Piano, where the purpose is to support you in releasing all that you are not, so the truth of who you really are can emerge. This is accomplished through working with the BodyMind from an ontological perspective. We use various modalities to support you in supporting yourself exactly where you are, so that you may return to an experience of wholeness and ease, moment by moment. Deep reflection is one of the greatest tools through which to do this. To take a moment, to pause, assess, reflect, and literally and figuratively reset, come back to center, and move back into your one and precious life with increased clarity and purpose. Hello and welcome. I am Christiane Piano, and this week's episode is a reflection on self-worth. A fundamental to body-mind well-being is remembering who you truly are. The makeup of the human being and how we function is something that ties us all together, no matter where we are from, live, look like, our body weight, size, wrinkles on our faces, levels of education, or money in our bank account. There are 3 things in life that cannot be changed. 1, you were born. 2, you will die. 3, you are a human being. To shift from surviving life to living life is a process. And navigating this process is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. It is a practice of self-love. Loving yourself is the greatest revolution. And one of the beautiful things about loving yourself unconditionally is that it cannot be taken away from you. Your value, your worth, is not determined by the outside world. It is inherent, already within you. As always, I invite you to remain open to what is shared in this episode and to get the most out of this time together, to remember that understanding is the first and essential step, and perhaps by the end, you will be open to engaging in a process that supports you in navigating to the next level of your own personal self-development. So as we settle into this exploration of self-worth, I'd like to invite you to ponder some questions. When you think of what makes you worthy, what comes to mind? What do you believe makes you valuable? How often do you create space to take care of yourself? Are you challenged in doing this with consistency? What thoughts, emotions, physical sensations, or breath patterns seem to arise? You may want to pause and truly think about this, write it down, or take a mental note before continuing. To help us navigate this concept more clearly, I would like to create an important distinction right off the bat, as I think it will prove supportive to you in the long run. Self-esteem versus self-worth. They are often used interchangeably, but in reality, there is a subtle difference. Self-esteem describes how you think and feel about yourself, which changes based on mood, circumstances, performance, or the approval of others. Self-worth, on the other hand, is a more fundamental sense of value that resides with us, often shaped by our earlier experiences. This deeper sense of self-worth is a cornerstone of our overall body-mind well-being, influencing how we experience ourselves and the world. This profound connection between our early life and our sense of self-worth is beautifully articulated by Bessel van der Kolk in his insightful book, The Body Keeps the Score. He states, if you grew up unwanted and ignored, it is a major challenge to develop a visceral sense of agency and self-worth. As long as we feel safely held in the hearts and minds of the people who love us, we will climb mountains and cross deserts and stay up all night to finish projects. Self-esteem describes your thoughts and feelings about yourself. It's important to note that it is usually based on judgments you make about yourself in the moment. People with low self-esteem are less self-confident and have more negative thoughts and feelings about themselves. Because of this fluctuating nature, low self-esteem can be situational or chronic, with chronic low self-esteem being more likely to cause emotional and behavioral problems. Because self-esteem involves your thoughts and feelings about yourself and your level of confidence, it isn't stable or consistent. Instead, it depends heavily on the outer world of people, tasks, and external information used to compare, judge, and evaluate yourself. Self-evaluations that determine your self-esteem are largely based on what personal strengths and weaknesses you are most focused on, positive and negative feedback you get from others, your general mood, stress level, and emotional states, comparisons you make between yourself and others, whether or not you reach a goal or expectation, how you make sense of yourself and your experiences. In contrast to this more fluid self-esteem, researchers describe self-worth as a broader, more stable form of self-esteem that is less influenced by outside or inside factors. Instead of focusing on specific traits, skills, circumstances, or achievements, self-worth describes the core beliefs you have about your worth and value. Core beliefs tend to be consistent over time, which is why self-worth is less likely to change in response to feelings, thoughts, behaviors, or experiences. A person with high self-worth is believed to have a more stable and positive form of self-esteem. It provides protection against stress and emotional problems while also making a person healthier, happier, and more successful in life. If you have high self-worth, you are more likely to believe you are good, worthy, and lovable, regardless of what's happening in your life. Feel deserving of love and respect from other people. Accept and love yourself as you are now, with no conditions or exceptions. Practice self-compassion and treat yourself with care, kindness, and respect. Believe in your potential to grow, learn, change, and improve. Have flaws and make mistakes that don't threaten your identity or worth. Create time for self-care with consistency. To further illuminate this distinction, Dr. Gabor Mate offers a powerful insight in his book, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, Close Encounters with Addiction. He so artfully states, self-esteem is not what the individual consciously thinks about him or herself. It's the quality of self-respect manifested in his or her emotional life and behaviors. By no means are a superficially positive self-image and true self-esteem necessarily identical. In many cases, they are not even compatible. People with a grandiose and inflated view of themselves are missing true self-esteem at the core. To compensate for a deep sense of worthlessness, they develop a craving for power and an exaggerated self-evaluation. This truly emphasizes the idea that true self-worth is an internal state, not just a superficial image. So to put it simply, self-esteem is what we think and feel and believe about ourselves. Self-worth is recognizing I am greater than all of those things. It is a deep knowing that I am of value, that I am lovable, necessary to this life, and of incomprehensible worth. At this point of the episode, I do hope that something is resonating with you deeply. As always, and I repeat this often, simply because it is so easy to forget, understanding is the first step, rational understanding. But it is not enough if we are interested in transcending our experience of ourself. Our sense of self-worth isn't just a cognitive construct. It's deeply interwoven with our physical and emotional experiences, our body-mind. Early experiences, as we'll explore further, can profoundly impact this felt sense of worthiness. Engaging with our bodies and our emotions is a crucial pathway to understanding and cultivating a more stable sense of self. And the wonderful news is that, if you're willing, you can engage in work that will support you in remembering. And once you've been guided to remember, then comes the commitment of remaining engaged in body and mind to the conversation on an experiential level. Building a life that supports you in staying connected to your inherent state of wholeness. With this understanding of the profound nature of self-worth, let's explore some key areas to focus on what consciously building and nurturing a healthy sense of self-value involves. Nurturing positive relationships that affirm our worth. Practicing assertiveness to shift out of people-pleasing. Embracing practices that engage present moment awareness. Spending time in nature. Engaging in self-care activities. Getting to the root of what defines you, that is, identifying the unconscious beliefs that shape your self-perception. This journey of cultivating self-worth isn't a race. Instead, it is a lifelong voyage. It can be a gentle unfolding, this remembering of our inherent worth, a deep knowing that settles into our bones and becomes a quiet truth we truly believe and experience on all levels of our being. As children, we often lived within this truth, accepting our value without a second thought, unburdened by the constant whisper of, "Am I enough?" Yet, as we journeyed through the world, that innate certainty could become clouded, and the question might softly echo within, "Am I truly worthy?" However, external pressures and validations we've discussed can obscure this inner knowing. The world around us can sometimes feel like it's teaching us that our value is something to be strived for, earned through effort, or proven through achievement. We might feel a subtle pressure to excel in every facet of our lives, our work, our families, our passions, even the way we care for ourselves. Many of us find ourselves, perhaps unknowingly, measuring our significance by external markers, job titles, academic achievements, financial security, the breadth of our social circles, the opinions reflected back to us by others. It becomes a quiet, persistent pursuit of external approval, and yet, even amidst our accomplishments, a sense of incompleteness might linger, a feeling that we are perpetually falling just short. The digital landscape, with its carefully curated glimpses into the lives of others, can amplify this gentle struggle. We might find ourselves comparing our own intricate inner worlds, our vulnerabilities, our doubts, our quiet battles, with the polished exteriors presented to us, the highlight reels that often conceal the fuller picture. Now let's take a moment for some deeper personal reflection for yourself with another question. When you think about yourself, the thoughts that run through your mind, fragments of your own story, what are the experiences that chip away at your sense of self? The deep-seated feeling of unworthiness that propels you to relentlessly seek validation. How does it fuel the pursuit of multiple degrees? Constantly seeking approval in relationships, striving for a certain physical appearance, overworking to feel valuable. Have you ever noticed that even as you reach these ambitious milestones, a true sense of fulfillment remains elusive? The beauty is that this cycle of seeking external validation can be shifted, and a powerful new perspective is born through the process of reawakening and remembering who you truly are. It is an experience of wholeness. Nothing is missing. Nothing is needed from the outside world. The remembrance that the worth you have been searching for has resided within you all along. The need to prove yourself to others, especially those whose judgment had once cast shadows, begins to fade. It is in recognizing and experiencing and believing in your own inherent value that a sense of wholeness begins to blossom. When the striving to earn your worth softens, you quietly reclaim your own narrative, your own power. You tap into your agency, which begins in the body. This highlights a crucial point. True fulfillment doesn't come from external sources. It can be easy to find ourselves in the subtle trap of believing that external achievements will somehow lead to inner peace, that something out there will finally fill the quiet longing within. Yet the truth whispers, we can never truly have enough of what we do not inherently want or need. When our sense of value becomes tethered to the shifting tides of the external world, our inner landscape can become a place of quiet unease. The opinions of others become the delicate scales upon which we weigh our worth. Yet those opinions are often fluid and sometimes carry a subtle unkindness. Dr. Gabriel Maté offers a distinction, a helpful framework for understanding the different ways we can value ourselves: contingent self-esteem and genuine self-esteem. Contingent self-esteem, or conditional self-worth, leans on external validation, material possessions, social approval, accolades. This reliance on the world's ever-changing judgment can leave our sense of worth feeling fragile and easily shaken. Genuine self-esteem, on the other hand, is a quiet, unwavering knowing. It is a consistent, steadfast foundation of self-acceptance that resides within us, untouched by the external circumstances that ebb and flow. So, as Dr. Maté suggests, the key is to move away from this fragile, contingent self-esteem and towards a more stable, genuine sense of self-worth. You do not need to embark on an outward search to discover your worth. Your value is inherent. You are enough simply by being. When we gently reclaim and hold on to this fundamental truth, as Maté suggests, we are simply returning to our innate wholeness. This journey of reclaiming our inherent worth isn't just intellectual. It's deeply connected to our physical experience, returning to your body, grounding into your bones, slipping and sliding in your fascia, releasing the stuckness of the knottedness that comes with striving for approval and worthiness, begins to release, and you begin to soften and relax. And when doing the deeper work, there is an ease and freedom that opens up in the spaciousness that comes from remembering your inherent wholeness. Ultimately, this inner sense of value has a profound impact on our well-being. Our sense of self-worth softly shapes the way we perceive ourselves, the way we navigate our experiences, and our capacity to ride the waves of the constantly shifting weather of life's inevitable storms. It is a quiet force that profoundly influences our well-being and our resilience. Your self-worth is not something to be acquired, but rather something to be tenderly recognized and reclaimed. You are worthy simply because you are. To support yourself in cultivating and deepening this inner knowing, I offer you the following invitations. Firstly, reflection on perceived worthiness. Consider the beliefs you hold about what makes you worthy. Have these beliefs been shaped by external achievements, appearance, or the approval of others? Secondly, acknowledge when you find yourself seeking external validation and inquire softly within. Why does this matter to me? Approach your patterns with curiosity, remembering that external factors do not define your inherent value. Allow them to hold only the power they truly deserve, and engage in bodily practices that support you in returning experientially to a sense of wholeness. Nothing is missing. There's nothing to fix. Thirdly, developing an ever-increasing subtle awareness of your inner dialogue. Bring attention to the inner critic, that voice that whispers, "Not enough," that focuses on perceived shortcomings, and that nudges you towards negative self-perception. Simply begin by noticing the stories you tell yourself. If they carry a tone of unkindness, perhaps it whispers, "I am not good enough," or "I do not belong." Instead of accepting these as absolute truths, question them. If you can catch yourself in the moment, you can literally say to yourself, "Says who?" You can ask yourself, where did this belief originate? Is it a fact or simply a feeling? More often than not, if you notice the thought and then drop into your body and invite a softening, the grip of the belief will release. Combine this with getting to the root of where it all started, and in distinguishing the source, it will gently release you. And over time, the shift will happen so slowly you may not even realize it, until one day you notice how things are changing simply due to the fact that you've had a shift in context. You are making new choices, not out of force of will, but from a place that seems like the most natural thing in the world, even though it's completely new and makes no rational sense. It feels like home. Fourthly, know thyself. As Socrates stated, to know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. Cultivating self-awareness, that is, understanding your strengths, your areas for growth, and the unique essence of who you are, allows you to move through the world with humility. Reflect on the labels you have used or that have been given to you to define yourself. Meet these reflections with compassion and realize simultaneously in BodyMind those that no longer resonate or serve your well-being. Fifth, prioritize your well-being. Often the struggle to care for ourselves stems from a feeling of unworthiness. Yet, when we truly value, love, or respect something or someone, we treat it well. You do not need to earn the right to nurture yourself. You are already deserving of the time and effort it takes to be well. Cultivate practices and habits that draw you inward, allowing you to meet your own needs and tend to your mind, heart, and body with kindness. And last but not least, embrace dualities. You can be a work in progress and still be deserving of love and respect. You can make mistakes and still be worthy. You can be imperfect and still be enough. Two seemingly contrasting truths can coexist. So as we come to the end of our time together, remember this fundamental truth. We are all navigating this journey with the best intentions, using the knowledge, tools, and circumstances available to us in each moment. Your worthiness is not a distant prize to be won. It has always resided within you, and more often than not, we simply forget. Remember that your value simply is. You do not need to do anything to be of value. You simply are. Reconnect with that quiet knowing within your soul, that deep place that already understands this profound truth. If this exploration of self-worth resonates with you, and if you are interested in returning to wholeness, reach out to me about BodyMind maturation work and gift yourself the opportunity of living into who you truly are. Ultimately, navigating your inner terrain and your sense of self-worth is a journey of remembering. It is a call to self-reflection and understanding. Self-knowledge is a crucial foundation for growth and self-development, not from a place of reaching for something new, but perhaps a releasing, an unlearning of something that you learned to believe that was actually never founded in reality. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, I invite you to share with me what resonated with you, and feel free to share this episode with someone you know, like, follow, or subscribe. I invite you to join me and a fabulous group of people for a brand new BodyMind wellbeing series, Pleasure. Do you feel overwhelmed by the constant demands of modern life? Is your mind a whirlwind of obligations and endless to-do lists? Are you longing for a sense of calm and joy amidst the chaos? We'll be working to create a balance in work, play, and love, a perfect experience and practice for the spring season. We begin on Sunday, April 27th. Feel free to reach out with any questions, and I hope to see you there.